Hi everyone and welcome to the Chapter 5 Beginner Any Percent tutorial. So picking up where we left off, we're going to run through the crypt here. So you can go left or right. I usually go right. I don't think it really matters. I think it's the same time either way. I just always have done this. There's some green boxes on either side. Well, not a left one here, but there's one on the right there. So I usually try to grab these items. This same room essentially repeats 4 times, with this being the second one. And yeah, nothing you can do to speed that up. You just run to the room to start the hallucination as fast as possible. So yeah, this is room number 2. Just kind of keep that in mind, which number we're on, just so you know which ones are different, because we're about to run through room number 3 here. And not much has changed. Again, just one on the right here. Alright, so in this room, we're going to get a puker that jumps out. And he will jump out if you go on the left side too, so you can't go around to avoid him. There's 2 ways to do it. The slightly slower method is just to wait for him to spawn and kill him. The slightly faster version that I'm going to show you is just running around him, but you need to turn the camera left into the wall to make sure you don't get hit, because if you try to run straight, you'll get knocked down. So I'll show you what I mean. And you could stasis him too, if you want. I actually would recommend doing that, and kind of turn the camera left like that into the wall, like I said. Now, I'd recommend running back and actually killing him here while the door opens, if you can. And the reason... I was a little slow there, so maybe line gun would be better next time. But the reason for that is if you do not kill him there, you can potentially get a soft lock coming up here. So just keep running through here, ignore this guy. You can use stasis on this guy or just shoot him to stun him. Either way works, and just run through here. I'll show you another alternative. Oh yeah, grab some stasis here if you want. You can grab this semiconductor if you want it. If you grab all the possible semiconductors on the route, you might actually have you might have to manage your inventory a little bit and drop some things. I should mention after the Chapter 3 video, I picked up a different save file, so my inventory might be slightly different than what it was at the beginning of the video, but it shouldn't matter too much. So you're just going to run around here. You get this checkpoint. I think it's actually when your interact range touches the hack panel, but if you want to be safe, you can always pull it off and then checkpoint reload. If you didn't kill the puker, I mean. If you killed him, you don't have to do that. But that gives you the checkpoint interacting with this. So then we're just going to do the hack panel. But yeah, so just to be extra clear, you need to kill the puker or reload at this checkpoint. You don't have to do both. Either one will prevent the soft lock. So for this little puzzle, you have these things you got to grab, the gimbal arms, I think is what it says they're called. They're just on opposite sides of each other. You don't actually have to stasis this. You can if you really want to, because there's stasis recharges, so it doesn't really matter. But just pull this down, grab that one, and then I start moving to the left here around this way. So I can grab this one, and then grab this one, and then keep moving left a little bit. We're going to grab this one, and this one. Alright, so I believe after this thing does that, just wait a moment, and you should be good to checkpoint restart here. It's a little bit faster. I can link a video by Semistry as well, possibly. He has a... He discovered a slightly faster visual cue for this reload. Another one actually is if you look up, this thing already rotated, but if you look up as soon as you finish the puzzle, you'll see this thing rotate around. Once it does that, you can restart. It's a little bit earlier than that is like the earliest possible you can do it, but if you want to be safe, that works. So immediately launch, stasis this, and fly up here, and stasis the ceiling here, but make sure you wait until that opens, because if you stasis it too early, it'll be stuck there, and the door will also be slowed down. So if you did get the soft lock, you wouldn't be able to fly all the way up here. If you didn't do either of the steps I mentioned, there is a chance that can happen, and you'll have to reload the checkpoint, and that should fix it. But just come around here and interact with this. We're going to turn this corner to the right and just spam Kinesis. You might need to run to the left a little bit, but that just moves these out of the way so we can get in this vent. So there is an out of bounds you can do in that 0G area called vent skip that saves about 40-ish seconds, I believe. But if you learn this route and you're really wanting to add a skip, I would really recommend checking out the advanced tutorial once those come out. Well, there's tutorials for the trick already, but it will be included in the as a full chapter guide. But the table clip in the church in chapter 4 skips to actually right around this next room we're coming up to. It skips all the crypts. So if you really want to add a skip, I'd recommend doing that over vent skip, because vent skip saves, 40-ish seconds, but that other trick saves more like 5 minutes. So it is hard though. So it is difficult to get and to learn, but vent skip is also difficult. So I'm just you can learn just vent skip by yourself or by itself if you want, but that's just my recommendation. Anyway, we're gonna shoot this slasher here. I'm trying to shoot him in the leg, but it doesn't really matter too much. Just try not to get stuck on him as much as possible. We have, I guess, sort of a little mini boss here. This game doesn't have super challenging bosses in general, but just wait till this thing drags you once here, like that, and then just shoot it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and as soon as you hit it the 4th time, checkpoint restart. It skips a little cutscene. Yeah, you don't have to worry about doing it too early. As long as you've actually hit him the 4th time, it gives you the checkpoint right away. Alright, so for this room, we have... I don't know if it's the same as the other pack fight where there's also 16 of them. I guess we could count, but I'm going to show you the fastest path through this room. There's a locked door here, and we're going to try to kill all the enemies on the way up there so that we kill the last one by the time we get to the door. It doesn't really matter if you don't get it perfectly, for your first runs and stuff, but I'm going to show you the fastest path anyway. If you go fast enough, you should be able to meet this cycle. So we're going to shoot 2 on the left here and then 2 on the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes you can get that one, both of those in one go. So run up here, we get 2 more. We're going to get 3 jumping off here. 1, 2, 3. 1 here. 1 here. I reload there. You can shoot this guy as he comes out of the vent. 1, 2, 3. Now there's going to be 1 more out of the vent. If you want to make this easier, you can stand here and snipe him, but you can actually run over to the door. So let me show it this way first. I think it's this vent, right? Okay. I don't usually do it from here, so it's throwing me off a little bit. But I'll do this 1 or 2 more times just to show it off. And actually, before I do that, I want to mention there is a medium medkit that always drops here, and there's always ammo that drops there, and actually a medium medkit upstairs as well. So if you really need those items, you can grab them. But just keep in mind that if you don't do this all pretty quickly, if you're fast enough, you can grab the items like that, or run over, grab this. But if you're too slow, you're not quite going to meet the cycle, and not all the enemies might be there. They might jump an event to try to catch up to you. But so 4 on the bottom, 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, reload. Try to hit this guy as he comes out of the vent like that. We'll have 3 more here. Might be a little slow, but if you get here in time... I did get him, okay, but ideally if you get here in time, you can line up the vents right there, and you can actually just put your cursor there as soon as he jumps out, shoot him, turn around, open the door. But if you find you're not quite making it in time, you're struggling with that, after you kill the last group of 3, you could just wait until he pops up in the hallway and then shoot him there. Alright, so yeah, this cutscene, the trigger for it's on either side of the marker here, on the left or right. So you want to try to just run as close to either the left or right edge of it as possible. Just to... I guess it's not really a cutscene, but, just to start the hallucination. Once the door pad disappears like that, you can start spamming interact, try to open it, and call the elevator. One important thing, shoot this vent. Might seem kind of silly, but the way this works is we're going down and forward now to the bottom of the level. Ignore the fact they say to the top of the church. That's actually not true. But when you get to the bottom, normally it will not load the level in fully until an enemy jumps down and you kill it. But if you shoot the vent out here, then it just loads automatically and skips spawning them. So it's a little bit quicker. Alright, so we're going to turn this way. Stop about here. If you see, I can actually get closer, something more obvious, but there's the detonator schematic. So you could just run up and grab it. There's nothing too wrong with that, but instead, if you shoot the glass around it and then pick it up, it's a little bit faster. You don't have to run over there. Alright, and now we have the Dana cutscene. Yeah, nothing to really explain here. There's one quick time event. Just make sure you don't miss that so you don't have to watch the cutscene again, but otherwise, I am going to trim this part out and we'll see you for the Tormentor fight.
You're a dangerous secret.
So there's Tormentor phases 1 and 2. Phase 1 is very straightforward. It's not completely an auto-scroller, but we just have to wait for these sequences to play out and then just shoot the yellow weak spot. So you can just buffer aim here, and then as soon as you see the reticle, just move it over and shoot. Which we're going to do for the first 3. Now for number 4, you can just spam shoot. Don't move the mouse at all, don't move the camera, and you'll hit it every time like this. Alright, that's phase 1. So phase 2, it's a skip you can do here, but it only saves about 20 seconds. I'll link a separate tutorial to it if you want to try it. It's worth going for, I guess, but I'll show how to just do it normally here. So just pull this out of the way and just keep running straight. We're gonna hit this cutscene. Now this chapter ends basically after shooting an explosive canister during this sequence. So this whole thing isn't really a boss fight. It's pretty scripted and easy. But you just want to aim here. Just be buffer aiming, and then as soon as you see your reticle, just move over and shoot. Yeah, you get the idea. But yeah, so you shoot that. And that brings you into here, and after this short little animation, we are in Chapter 6.